Okay, the best way to demonstrate rotational symmetry is to show you some shapes on a video and show you how rotational symmetry works. So if I show you this one first of all, we'll pin it down. Now this shape, if we're working out the rotational symmetry of this shape, rotational symmetry is not the same as reflective symmetry. So we're not looking for mirror lines, we're looking to turn this shape around. So to work out whether it's got rotational symmetry or not, the first thing you need to do is place a little dot at the top of the shape. Now we're going to turn this shape through 360 degrees, and along the way, if it looks exactly the same as this, we're going to say stop, and we're going to count the number of times we say that before we get back to that dot being in the top position. So here we go, starting with this position here, let's turn. So we've got stop number 1, stop number 2, stop number 3, and finally, if I can grab it, stop number 4. So along its 360 degree journey, we can actually see that shape in exactly that form 4 times, so that we say this shape has got rotational symmetry of the order 4, which means we can see it just like that 4 times. Let's try a different one this time. Move this one off. This one here, slightly more complex. Similar type of shape, but will it have a rotational symmetry of 4? It's got 4 edges sticking out of it, 4 pieces sticking out like a windmill. But will it have 4? Let's see. Okay, here is our starting dot. Notice that this piece here and this piece here have got an extra little curve marked on the bottom. So when we rotate, we want to make sure that we can see those 2 curves at the top and at the bottom. So here goes. So starting, we're not going to say stop there because the curves are on the edge. So this would be stop number 1 and then stop number 2. So this shape has got rotational symmetry of the order 2. Try one more. This one. Okay. Oh, I'll move that so it's easier to see. That's better. Okay. So here's our starting point. We've got a 3-legged or 3-armed shape. Let's rotate 360 degrees. So we're going to wait until we see one of these legs or arms sticking directly or vertically upwards. So here goes. We've got stop number 1, stop number 2, and stop number 3. So this shape has got rotational symmetry of the order 3. Our final one. You may have seen this one in one of the 11 plus tests already. So we are looking at a kite. Kite's got one reflective line of symmetry right down the middle here, but what about rotational symmetry? Well, let's put our guiding dot up at the top. Let's see how many times we can stop it on its little journey round. So here goes. Doesn't look like it did at the beginning there, it's just the same shape but upside down. That's the only time when we can say stop, when it's up at the top. So has this got rotational symmetry? Well, the answer is no. If the only time when you can get it looking the same is when you've been through that 360 degrees, then we say this does not have rotational symmetry. When you're answering questions in 11 plus papers, don't be afraid to turn that paper around, to rotate it, as you will be able to see that shape and to see whether it actually looks the same as you're rotating it. And remember, rotational symmetry, not the same as reflective symmetry.